Hello world and welcome to Cine Briefs, where we take movies seriously, or not, depends on how much caffeine I've had. So we're back in jury, and you thought those kids kicked Pennywise's ass? He was just biding his time, because now he's arrived. Two dudes are having a good time at the fair, and later, some jerks start picking on them. The bull is giving a hard blow, one gets thrown to a river, and guess who's up? Pennywise, and he offers his hand, and then Penny and having lunch. Mike's in jury and finds out about a crazy stout away now yesterday. So he calls out the loser's clan because 27 years ago they promised they'd come back and the clan returned. Some of them are terrified, some can't even remember what happened. Poor Stout though, he immediately went to his bathtub and unlived himself. But now things start to get really macabre, because it turns out that Henry Bowers is at a psychiatric hospital, and now he has a knife. They'll meet up in the restroom in Jerry and start chowing down. At first they're all laughing, joking about Ben's new skateboard, and they're excited and bored into old lives. The thing is that later, Mike tells them that he called him because he needed to stop Pennywise again. Mike reminds them that they did an oath and needs to be fulfilled. The waitress appears and brings fortune cookies. They open them and discover each one has a single word. They're confused, but then they piece them together and the message is... Suddenly, the fortune cookies start freaking out like crazy. Everyone's freaking out, screaming and throwing chairs. Mike's yelling, it's not real, again and again. And then, they realize it was all an illusion. They head outside, and Beverly calls Stan, but his wife answers, saying that he's going to visit St. Peter in heaven. In another scene, a girl's at a baseball game and she's sneaking under the bleachers, so she finds the creepy clown crying so sad. She gets closer and by the way, Bowers escaping from the hospital. Mike tells Bill about his trip to the Sugar Penguins, where a tribe that beat the shit out of Pennywise by doing a ritual. And now they're ready to convince the others. Next day, the losers head to their old secret hideout, and Mike explains that for the ritual, they need to sacrifice a childhood belonging. And by chance, they stumble upon Stanley's old object there. One by one, they head out to find their own special item to sacrifice. Beverly heads back to her old creepy house. She finds a super sweet old lady who tells her that her dad is dead. And then Bev snoops around and having flashbacks, and later, she finds a love letter being wrote her. Suddenly, the old lady's face turns all creepy. And Bev's like, oh, it's so late, I gotta go. However... And somehow, Beverly bolts out of there. On the other hand, Richie heads to the arcade, but then he's hit with a wave of memories of getting bullied. That's why he immediately heads to the park to chill. Ready for round two? It didn't finish because he turned and bam! Penny's there saying,
I know your secret.
Meanwhile, Bill's out and about feeling nostalgic too, and at that moment, he spots his old bike and goes all the way down the street. He's running around, he passes by his old house and hears some weird noises coming from the sewer. Turns out it's George's art. Bill's trying to grab him, but... Later, a little kid tells Bill he's heard children and a clown laughing in the tub. Creepy. And now the kid goes off to the town's fair. Ben's wandering around his old school, flashes back to that time when he was bullied and trying to kiss Bev. But she was like, dude, no way. Suddenly, Bev transforms into a monster and she's fired. Now, literally, she's fired. On fire. And then, Pennywise appears. And he heads to the old pharmacy feeling all weird. Suddenly, he hears his mom's voice calling out for help from the basement. He goes downstairs and finds her tied out with a weird creature trying to catch her. And she's like, help me. And he surrenders, but it was all an illusion. But later, and Eddie runs away. Back at the hotel, some minutes pass until we see a skater come crashing downstairs with a note saying, won't be there for him either. Bill thinks it's about the kid who told him about a creepy voice in the sewer. And he rushes to help him in the fair. It is finally getting a moment of peace watching his face. But of course, Henry Bowers, always the party pooper, just up and attacks Eddie. And in the chaos, Eddie fights back. And later, Bowers goes away. Bill walks into this creepy farmhouse mirror maze. He's looking for the boy, and suddenly, Pennywise smashes a mirror and he swallows it all. Mike's waiting at the library, and suddenly, Henry Bowers bursts in, looking like a total psycho. But don't worry, Rich is there to save the day and unlifts him. Now, Bev shows up with some bad news. Bill's gone off to fight Pennywise alone, and the group rushes to the monster house, and once they are there, they enter to face whatever crazy stuff awaits them. And after 2 minutes screamers, shouts, and more, they find Pennywise's lair, which is a huge cave. And now it's time to get down and do the ritual. Mike lights a fire in the box and tells everyone to throw in their childhood objects. Bill throws in George's paper boat. Eddie throws in his inhaler. Beverly throws in Ben's love letter. Richard throws in a coin from the arcade. Ben throws in a piece of paper with Beverly's signature. And Mike throws in the rock that the losers used to save him when he was bullied in the river. And Eddie throws in Stanley's hat. The dead lights appear, and Mike tells everyone to say turn lights into dark, and to keep their eyes closed. They manage to trap Pennywise, but things take a weird turn and a giant balloon pops. And Pennywise is back, looking more terrifying than ever. Pennywise reveals that Mike didn't tell them the whole truth about the ritual. The final step is to visit St. Peter in heaven. Penny is about to kill everyone. The group splits have to face their fears. Eddie and Richie have to choose doors to escape. Bill's dealing with his brother's ghost. He's blaming him for everything. And Ben and Beverly are having a moment in which Ben confesses his love for Bev. Now they're back, and Pennywise grabs Rich and drags him into the dead lights. Things are looking grim, but Eddie, the unlikely hero, throws a spear at Pennywise. It's a direct hit. Everyone thinks it's over. But no. And Pennywise stops Eddie. Mike steps forward, looking determined. There's one way to beat this clown, he says. We have to tell him what he doesn't want to hear. The group starts taunting Pennywise, calling him names, and making fun of him. Penny, weakened by the words, starts to shrink. In a final act of defiance, they rip out his heart and crush it. With the final scream, Pennywise is defeated. In the end, everything goes to shit, and they barely escape the house. They head to the quarry where they went in the last movie to remember Stanley. Later, their hand scars are gone, and they have memories of their childhood in Derry. And this is how Chapter 2 ends. Thanks for sticking around until the end. That's it for today. If you like what I do, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and grab the subscribe one as well, so we can grow on YouTube and dominate the algorithm. Have a great day, world. See ya!